Hello, and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 24, Life is a Circus. Before we get started, I just want to give you all a heads up that I think we're experiencing some regional internet issues here. So if some of us might be a little stuttery at points or drop completely, I apologize. But if we do, we will be back as soon as we possibly can. Brother Uriah. Years ago, as a little boy in Rivolus, you find yourself walking down one of the cobblestone paths, and behind you, you hear a familiar grunt from Kubu, a half-orc boy, just a few years older than you, but 2, possibly 3 times your size. "Where you off to again, you little freak?"
My father asked me to get some parchment and quills.
Father? How you even know he's your father? I heard you's an orphan. I heard there was a rainy, stormy night and a bent-over witch brought you to the house in a basket like a loaf of bread, and he pokes a big, thick finger right into your chest.
Well, Kubu, I will point out that everyone enjoys bread. It's full of carbohydrates and is quite tasty. Quite good when warm.
Why are you always talking so much? Just blah, 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 blah. Don't you know that you're so annoying, Uriah? Nobody likes you, mate.
It is pronounced Uriah. Uriah is something else entirely.
Oh, you gonna correct me, huh? What if I just decide I want to correct your face then? And he grabs you by the lapel, nearly lifting you off the ground.
Well, I don't suppose there's much I could do about that, Kubu. We have established that your physical prowess exceeds mine by several factors.
My what?
You're very strong and quite adept at physical punishment.
You're right. And he rears back and gets ready to punch you as he has so many times before, Uriah. And you see he freezes in place as a hand lands on his arm. Behind him stands a tall, statuesque woman in a white gown with a crown on. "Oh, please now. You don't want to harm him, do you?" "Oh, well, who are you?" Kubu, my dear dull Kubu. She opens up her hand and it's filled with candy. "Why don't you run along and let Uriah and I here have a little chat? He's a dear friend of mine. I'd be very upset if anything were to happen to him." Kubu looks at her and looks at you, and looks at her and looks at you. I thought your weird uncle was the extent of your odd associations, Uriah. You're lucky she's here."
Bye, Kubu.
He does take the candy and immediately just starts shoveling it into his mouth, wrapper and all, as he stomps away. And the woman turns and looks at you and says, "Don't worry, Uriah. He'll die an early and inglorious death. How are you, boy?"
Thank you, madam, for my rescue, but I am unsure how it is we are friends when I don't recall ever meeting you.
I have watched over you for many years. You can call me Zabilna. Think of me like your fairy godmother.
Oh, how wonderful. Again, I thank you. Kubu tends to, he gets tired eventually, but it's usually, there's a fair bit of pummeling that happens before that.
I was watching all of that. You know how that awful boy thinks, how he operates. You could easily outmaneuver him, tell on him. hide a dagger in your coat to give him a little surprise, and yet every time you just let it happen. Why?
Kubo only bullies because he himself has been picked on.
How wonderfully magnanimous. I would not have expected that from someone of your lineage, from a macabre.
Well, my father has always taught me that we should consider the feelings of others, and through diplomacy, all issues may be resolved. He's a scholar, you know.
What manner of scholarship does your father engage in, Uriah?
Well, he's quite renowned as a speaker. He has actually spoken at the Bratislava Institute. As a matter of fact, we've travelled across the length and breadth of Darkon, speaking in various places of learning. Of course, Rivolus is home.
You know, that reminds me, and she kneels down where she can look you in the face, and as she gets closer to you, she smells magnificent, Uriah. She smells like candy in springtime and warm blankets.
You're wearing a lovely perfume, madam.
Oh, just a few of my favorite things. And a few of your favorite things, if memory serves.
Yes, I suppose so.
Tell me, I heard a little birdie told me, and as she says a little bird told me, a bird literally flits out of a nearby tree and lands on her shoulder. You had an odd run-in at a carnival lately.
Yes, I thought it was another child, a little girl, but it wasn't. It was some sort of horrible thing. And I don't know what it would have done to me if, well, my new friend hadn't saved me. She was very brave, and she told it to go away, and it did.
The drow. Her name is Finn. I don't expect you to remember that now, but it might make sense to you somewhere later on. Oh, my child. And she reaches out and hugs you, Uriah. And for a moment, all of the pain goes away. Kubu, isolation of being an unusual little boy, so caring and concerned in a place that does not value such things. From the weight of Darkon that is always on your young shoulders and everyone else's, for a moment, it's gone.
It's rather nice. Thank you.
Tell me, my little prince, you had such an unpleasant experience at that other carnival. How would you like to see a proper one, a beautiful one, with colors and games and cakes and candy? We have foxes that can fly, wings like butterflies. We have mummers and mimes and jugglers. How would you like that?
Well, it all sounds quite wonderful.
I could take you there right now. All you have to do is ask.
I would love to, but I've been given a task by my father. I promised I would fulfill it.
So diligent. What is the task your father asked you to perform? Perhaps I might be of some assistance.
He's in need of new parchments and quills. I was to pick them up in town.
Oh, Uriah. Parchments and quills. Oh, And right when she snaps her fingers, you see a person comes walking around the corner. Their eyes are wide, like they're staring at nothing. You know him. He does something. He's a money changer. Your father always mentions something about balancing the books. He comes out of his shop with just a bundle of parchments in quill pens and just walks straight forward and just drops them in a heap at your feet. Some of them have been written on, some of them are still completely blank. And he immediately whips around very awkwardly and walks right back into his office.
But Father gave me some silver to pay for. He just left them.
You know, I think he just wanted to do a good deed. But surely this would cover your father's needs? Yes, I have no head for such things myself.
Yes, I'm sure. I'll just gather them up. I suppose, yes, I'll just drop these at Father's, and then I would love to see this carnival.
And then we can go. Wonderful. She helps you pick them up and puts a calming hand on your back and begins to walk towards your home when Uriah, you noticed that fog, that mist that is always just at the edges of Riverless. The mist your father told you to never, ever go into comes rolling in like a thick fog.
Perhaps we should try to go inside. This doesn't usually happen here.
This is unusual. What do you say I have one of my carnival hands take these parchments to your father and you and I can just go now?
All right, as long as Father gets what he needs, I suppose.
Wonderful. I'll just... You notice nothing happens, Uriah. New plan. We'll just go, and then I'll send for your father to join us at the carnival. How about that?
I suppose that would be all right. Father does enjoy a carnival as much as anyone, I suppose.
Uriah, as you are speaking, just ahead of you in the mist, you catch the faintest glimpse of someone, almost more of an outline. It is a very tall, very pale woman with long black hair that comes all the way down to her shoulders. And she's got a shield on one hand and a plant of some sort in her other hand. And she's gone.
Did you see that?
See what?
It was like a vision of the lady herself. Lady of the mists.
Oh, I was regarded as a lady myself in some circles. I don't know this mist lady that you speak of, but why don't we just, and she goes out to touch your hand again, and you notice the mist begins to coalesce between you and her, where she can't quite touch you. This is troubling. Is this your doing, Uriah? Is this your doing, Father?
I'm sorry? I'm certainly not doing this. We should go inside. The father said to avoid the mist. My father, I mean.
When you say that, just ahead of you, in the direction where you saw this woman, the mist part and you see your front door. Much, much closer than it should have been, Uriah. You were a few moments' walk at least, and yet it's right there.
Oh, it's my house. I'll just take these inside. And perhaps you should seek shelter as well, yes?
Yes, I suppose, and you see the mist begins to, like, coalesce more and more around her. I shall have to take a different approach for that day at the carnival, Brother Uriah. Take care of yourself, boy. Oh.
I don't understand. Brother?
Young Uriah. I'll see you again. Just remember that your fairy godmother Zybilna loves you, okay?
All right.
And
Goodbye.
the mists wash over her, and she's gone.
Uriah quickly scrambles to get away from the mist and into the house with the scrolls and the quills.
As you're scrambling, you see the mist continues to part in front of you until right on your doorstep, laying on the ground, is a small icon, a very tiny plaque with a sprig of wolfsbane carved onto it.
Lady of the Mist.
With that, Brother Uriah, you blink your eyes open, and you are confronted with an unusual scene. A sprawling, wonderful forest with pumpkins the size of houses. A strange old man with a staff is waving at you. Run! 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 The beast is here! As you turn and see Desmond transforming into a lycanthrope before your very eyes.
Desmond, what's happening?
And hello and welcome to the Black Dice Society, episode 24, Life is a Circus. As always, this is a Ravenloft campaign, even though we are detouring into the Feywild for a short time here. This is still a horror game, and as such, may feature content and situations that you don't normally encounter in D&D games. As always, I am aware of the cast lines and veils. We have our system of safety tools in place where they can notify me if something's wrong. So if a scene should ever switch suddenly, or possibly even switch mid-sentence, that may be why. As you can see, at least already today, themes of child endangerment and now possibly betrayal are going to feature in to this episode, so consider that your content warning. And with that firmly in mind, let us meet these wonderful people, beginning with the returning champion, Brother Uriah.
Hello, I'm Mark Meir. I use he, him pronouns, as does my character, Brother Uriah Macabre, Cleric of the Grave and Worshipper of Ezra, Lady of the Mists. Also possibly a very close relation to Aslan Rex, erstwhile King of Darkon.
I was trying to take a quick drink and nearly choked to death. Nahara?
Are you okay?
You all right?
Nope, go ahead. I might die, but I'll die as I've lived. Nahara.
Oh, to me. Sorry. Hi, everyone. I'm Nora Ibrahim. I'm so glad B-Dave's okay. You can find me at Norological on all the things. My pronouns are she, her. And tonight I play Nahara, who is a reborn, fallen Azamar, undead Bardlock.
And Finn.
You passed the coughing over here. Good job. Hi, I'm Sonia. I am playing Fen, your Jawdum Pure Blood Hunter, with a little bit of the beast in her as well. Pronouns for both Fen and myself are she, her.
Also, I should make a note that just a little earlier today, we recorded our side adventure with Valentine and Strahd. So, Valentine.
There we go. I can unmute. Hi, I'm Sage Ryan. I go by Not Sage everywhere on the internet, but tonight I am Valentine. Valentine is a reborn aberrant mind sorcerer, and we both use she, her pronouns. And she had a very interesting meeting with Strahd today.
Tatiana.
Hello, my name is Tatiana. I am an Ergenazi, she, her, and a barbarian of totem warrior, druid circle of the moon, more and more powerful with every passing moment. And I'm Becca Scott. What's up, everybody? Also, she, her pronouns. Find me at the Becca Scott.
And last but not least, about to truly enjoy his first full moon in the Feywild, Desmond.
That'll be fun. Oh, hi. I'm DJ Knight. I am playing Desmond, your human ranger lycanthrope. Our pronouns are he, him. You're awesome. Thanks for coming to hang out with us.
As always, thank you to our sponsors. Thank you to Die Hard Dice. Again, I'm fairly certain all the character-specific dice palettes are sold out, but you can still get our BDS set, which is a really cool black and gold. I don't even know if you can... Oh, I guess you kind of can see that. It's really neat. You also can use code BDS at checkout to get 10% off of any of your other purchases that you choose to make. All sorts of dope stuff. Our TeePublic store is live. You can get your Black Dice Society mugs, masks, bags, pillows, shirts, anything else you could possibly want. All available at TeePublic. Got a link popping up in chat now. Secret Labs chairs. You can't tell. Oh, you can tell. I thought my coat had covered it up. Again, I love mine. It's like riding around on the couch. They just released some new models that came out. These are especially good if you are a bigger person like me, but they got some for all shapes and sizes. Check that out. Link also should be appearing in chat. Idle Champions, if you type in !code, the code really should come up this time because we really do have it this time. If for some reason it doesn't, we will post it here in the chat momentarily. As always, thank you to Beadland Grims for the deluxe edition of Van Richten's Guide and for Curse of Strahd. A lot of the props that you will see flying around here, including Nahara's Taroka deck, the medallion, some of the other things come from either the Curse of Strahd or Van Richten's Guide set. Very, very cool. Highly recommended that you check that out. And we still have a few more of our museum quality art prints here. If you type !BDS art into chat, again, a portion of the sale of every one of these goes to World Builders. So you can not only have a dope keepsake collectible of our super dope art from Adam Schubert, you can also help in the global hunger. Last but not least, we have a Patreon. As I said, the side adventure with Valentine and Strahd will go up as soon as we are done here tonight. It's just waiting for me to pull the trigger to post, so you'll be able to check that out. And we still owe you one more this month, and also a new bonus full-length adventure that will be available to all patrons that we are going to tape next week. So, follow us at patreon.com/The Black Dice Society to get yours. And thank you, because you literally make it possible to do what we do. With that, I'm done stalling. I've been really looking forward to this all week. I have no idea how this is about to play out, and I cannot wait. Here we go. we resolve this. I would like to point out two things. Next week, because of Gen Con, we will be dark. However, we will be airing our full-length episode of The Morning Rail, which was our Ravenloft Eberron crossover, if you haven't seen that yet. We will also be dark the week after that for D&D Celebration, which that is when we're going to record the bonus episode. So, something new for you next week if you haven't seen it. Week after that, D&D Celebration, and we will see you wonderful people afterwards. Now, to recall, last week, you all discovered in the Temple of Koshmar, there was a Fey crossing in the Temple of Sylvanas that allowed you all to gain access to the Feywild, which immediately seemed wonderful and inviting to almost all of you. Finn felt unwelcome is the best way to describe it. And Brother Uriah seemed stunned somehow. His eyes were open, but he was staring at nothing, just sort of stumbling along behind you all as you walked. You very quickly made the association of Twinkle, a fairy dragon, who offered to take you to his master, who would be able to help you because he is great and powerful. And you all met the warlock Madrick, who tasked you all with going into the Fey domain of Prismere, finding his patron, the Archfey Zybilna, and bringing back to him proof that she was still alive, or hopefully not dead, and he would reward you all with a significant treasure. It also became clear that you all are not the only adventurers that he has made this offer to, and yet, as of now, none have returned. It's been over a year since he's heard from Zybilna, although he is aware that time passes differently in Prismere, and the fact that both Valentine and Finn were able to make contact with her in the recesses of Isolde's mind was the first confirmation that he had that his lady still existed, at least after one fashion or another. Each of you had individual flashbacks that came upon you suddenly of times in your life when you were very young that you have encountered Zybilna before, that somehow you just misplaced. Tatiana became aware of the fact that she had paid Jibaku, her trainer, extra to make sure that Tatiana had the best food and the best weapons and the best accommodations. Valentine saw that she had paid your mother, Lady Asteria, to make sure that you would want for nothing. Desmond, you remembered you and your brother Armand sneaking in to the Witchlight Carnival and being located by Zybilna, who gave you cupcakes that were delightful and pleasant and made you feel warm when you ate them. Nahara, you had an experience of having, well, one, remembering something, of being a small girl searching for a lost beloved pet that Zybilna helped you recover, and told you that unfortunately you would have a particularly difficult path that lay ahead of you. Finn, you also saw her as she took you by the arm and guided you through the Witchlight Carnival, which was unusual to see a Fey of such beauty and grandeur so openly and lovingly welcome a drow into her midst. Brother Uriah, you now know what you remember. As you all were treated to a lavish buffet by Madrick and his small army of pixies and rodents, and were beginning to camp for the night, the largest full moon any of you had ever seen begin to crest the horizon, and with just a moment's warning, the transformation began to take over Desmond. As the power ripples through your muscles and your mind, Desmond, your awareness of the wildness of this place is magnified tenfold. It is teeming with game. It is teeming with prey. It is limitless. You can go anywhere. You can do anything. And a roar escapes from your lips. What would you like to do?
First, I imagine the roar would just be.
I just move close to Tatiana.
Desmond wants to be on the roof.
I take on a form of dread.
Desmond, you effortlessly vault, and you all see this gigantic wolf. You've seen him shift voluntarily before, but he looks physically bigger, and his eyes look decidedly wilder as he leaps over onto the roof of this house, which groans and bends under your weight, but does not give. Finn, you see Medric, the warlock, point his staff at Desmond and clearly is about to do something as he starts speaking a strange language.
Oh,
and
no.
You see red fill his eyes.
Oh no, I pop Dreadform and tackle him. No.
Brother Uriah.
Yes?
You take in this entire scene, and in the midst of all of this madness taking place, one thing jumps out at you. Nahara looks different. How exactly does Nahara look? Minus the Dreadform, I suppose.
Well, previous to the Dreadform, she is dressed in a beautiful white gown. It's very flowy. Her wings are white feather, and she's just very shimmery and sparkly, and a little different from how you're used to seeing her.
Even when you activate your Dreadform, Nahara, you look like a glowing divine being. Your wings are crackling white, and pure divine power radiates off of you.
Seeing this, Uriah stumbles forward and reaches up, pulling his goggles of night from his face. Nahara?
In Nahara, Uriah looks different too.
How so?
How has Uriah's appearance changed?
It's his eyes. They're no longer precisely human. Only white, tiny dots for pupils. And you think to yourself that you may have seen eyes like
Uriah?
this before. What's happening? The last thing I remember was the portal in the temple to the Feywild, and then wait, I've met Zabilna before. I was a child. It was in Riverless. What's happened to
So
Desmond?
have I, and so have we all.
You all have?
I don't know. We've all met her.
We have more.
You were
Yes,
just in a daze. Are you all right?
I think so. Why are you looking at me like that?
Desmond, up on the roof, what are you doing?
Looking for something to eat. He's hungry. It's been a while.
Desmond, give me a perception check. You can roll 3 dice and take the highest.
Oh, this is going to be a problem, whatever it is. I'm adding my perception to this, yes?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Dirty 22. Obviously dirty, but 22.
As you scan the area, your nose filling with the smell of rabbits the size of people, of squirrels, of other wolves that clearly smell afraid immediately at your presence, of this human that Finn is wrestling to the ground, and of all of these pixies, one thing in particular jumps out at you. There is something that smells particularly magnificent. Your eyes immediately narrow in, and on Tatiana's back, you see a very small, luminescent dragon that is shivering in behind her head. Excuse me, Tatiana, hi. So, I realized we just became new friends, but I didn't know that is this what normally happens? Like, I mean, are we still friends? Are we still friends with Desmond when he's like this? Are we still friends?
Tatiana is not able to respond right now as she's focusing all of her energy on wild shaping.
What does Tatiana turn into?
Why, of course, a dire wolf.
Desmond, your friend has the audacity to co-opt your form and shift into a dire wolf almost as big as you.
Oh, you're trying to be like me, I see.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Perhaps I'd do it better.
See.
Don't antagonize me.
And he just leaps into the field and just beats his chest.
Oh, we gotta leap simultaneously for a crouching tiger, hen, and wolf situation.
You know what? Everybody give me initiative. As Desmond and Tatiana collide in midair.
You would think these dice would treat me better.
Give me 20? Natural 20 or dirty 20?
Nat 20.
Give me this in chat if you all would.
Okay.
18.
You can still say it out loud, but give it to me in chat as well.
I've got a 16.
Got it.
My best ever initiative, and you get a nat 20. And that makes sense story-wise.
Excellent. This is perfect. Okay. One side note. Finn, if you would, just give me athletics. We're going to see how well you've tackled Mandarin.
Oh, I get and I get an advantage on this by default.
Absolutely.
Oh, my expensive tungsten dice worked out for me. 22.
Excellent. Let me just see something here. Well, actually, he didn't roll terribly. I don't think he has a particularly high athletics. The old man is wiry, Madrick Rosloff, and he definitely puts up more of a struggle than you would have thought, Finn. But you are able to get him to the ground as a black bolt of energy crackles out of his staff and just shatters one of those gigantic pumpkins. And he looks at you and says, "Oh, what are you doing? The beast will kill us all!"
That's my friend, and I bare my fangs at him.
Desmond, you and Tatiana have collided. However, you will act first. What would you like to do? And you do see that little dragon clinging frantically to her back. Oh, is this part of the plan? Is that what you guys normally do every night?
Get off!
Desmond aims to reach immediately for that dragon while attempting to push Tatiana down.
Since you do have 2 attacks, I'm gonna let you do both of those things. Give me. Is your intent to simply grab the dragon or claw at the dragon?
Grab.
Give me athletics. Actually, give me 2 different athletics checks. And Tatiana, you give me athletics as well. Unfortunately, you don't have advantage yet because you're not raging yet. So this will be pure contest of him to try and grab the dragon and to try and essentially just force your muzzle down to the ground. So what's the first one, Desmond?
15. Oh, wait, my
So
bad.
this
It was
is
not
strength?
15. I'm proficient in athletics. My bad. That's 21.
Athletics.
21. Easily. This tiny.
And it was
Yeah.
contested?
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yes.
23.
Well, hang on. We're two things. First one is to grab Twinkle. Second one is to grab Tatiana. So, give me a second roll here. A second athletics.
That's for me?
Yes.
Oh, that was 7. Actually, no. Yeah.
Let me
Trying to figure out which one of these because they're right next to each other, and I glanced. So yeah, I'm just gonna go with the 7.
Desmond, you clamp a massive clawed hand down on Twinkle. And a moment later, Tatiana, you see his little head pop out from between your fingers because he got a 23. It is like, oh no, and begins running up Desmond's arm. I don't know where to go. He can't reach me if I'm on his back. And Tatiana, as Desmond is struggling to get a hold of this thing, you're also able to sort of shake your way out of being held, and it is your turn.
You can fly, Twinkle! And then I go into a rage.
Okay.
A wolf enraged. Sounds familiar.
It is a brand.
Let's see. As I'm raging, I would like to. Let me see what I can do real quick. I don't want to do this though. But here's the thing about dire wolves: they don't get to grapple.
You can. You may not have a skill bonus other than just your strength, though. But you can. You absolutely can.
Quick meta question. Does the werewolf form have separate HP than Desmond?
Normally, I would say you have no way to know that. However, you as a druid are aware that what happens to you in this form does not automatically translate to you as a genasi. Well, you've known Desmond for some time, too. I will say you've seen him wounded when he turned into a werewolf. And when he changed back, he was still wounded, but not necessarily as badly. Different from you. What happens to you in this form, when you switch back to a genasi, you're unharmed. It's like you put on an outfit. For him, it's not quite like that.
Then I will try and grapple him to the ground.
Let me give you one other meta option. You are capable of doing what is called non-lethal damage, which I realize seems strange that you could be a dire wolf and bite somebody without the intent to to actually harm them. But you can attack with the intent to not kill him, and it will do temporary damage instead of real damage, essentially. So you kind of had those two options: to grapple or to essentially be actively trying to knock him out.
Okay, so Tatiana, with a tiny twinkle on her back, ripples and bulges and blue things pop and become furry, just as Desmond had. But more lumpy, like doesn't look as animal, like a dire wolf is kind of just big shoulders, like one of those hounds that were way too short of back legs. Anyway, she leaps for him as she jumps out of the way of his grapple and goes underneath, moving around for the bite, but will not clinch entirely. Non-lethal.
Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Great.
Desmond, I'm going to send you something different here in chat.
$16.
Give me 1 second here. I'm looking something up over here. That is enough to harm him. And Desmond, I'm going to send this to you. Use that.
Perfect.
Yep. So here's how that's going to work. Yeah. Desmond, as you are tracking your damage, keep a separate tally of your hit points in the temporary damage you've done, because technically maybe all of your friends are going to try and pull their punches, maybe they won't, and it is two different pools. So just keep track of that separately.
Also, I did send another question real quick.
For me, yes.
Perfect.
Wait, sorry. What did you say? I apologize. A lot's happening, y'all.
It was
sorry.
a DM.
I think you went to the wrong one. Reply to the one that I just messaged you. Because if
I
have the two machines set up, y'all, and if I try and read it over here, everything will literally go. How much damage was that, Tatiana?
Oh, sorry. I should have rolled when you said it hit. That's how that works. 13.
13 points of damage. Excellent.
Piercing.
Mm-hmm. You all see the jaws of this thing like burrow down into Desmond's flesh, but you can all tell it's that exact same thing as when your dog is almost play fighting with you and doesn't really want to hurt you. It's like holding on slightly, but she definitely draws blood from him. She breaks the skin. Excellent. Anything else from Tatiana?
Twinkle, get to safety. Fly, you stupid dragon.
It's like, a lot is happening right now. Okay, all right, I'm gonna do it. No, I'm good. Wait, stop talking to me. He's gonna know where I am. Stop. Valentine, you were point blank for this. Is Tatiana?
I was skipped. I rolled a 21.
Oh, sorry. I didn't get that in here. I apologize. Yes, Nahara, what would you like to do?
Yeah, it was in there.
Yep, nope, I got it. What would you like to do?
You see Nahara's... Okay. You see Nahara's wings just unfurl and they're glowing, and with one big swoosh, she lifts up into the air, looks over at Desmond and Tatiana going at it. And I don't know if this is going to work, but please forgive me. And you see her arm extend and like almost like a shooting star falls out, unfurls from it. And as I cast sleep on the two of them.
On both of them. Perfect. What's the save on sleep?
It doesn't say that it has a save.
Well, let's double check.
I think it just happens.
It's by hit points, I think.
But it only lasts a minute, but maybe we could figure out what we're going to do in the meantime.
All right, let's see. Oh, yes. So you need to roll 5d8, and that is how many hit points worth of creatures you can put to sleep. And if that is not more than either one of them, unless you're going to upcast it, if you cast it at a higher level, it is an additional 2d8 hit points for every level above.
So it's cast at a second level.
So
Let me see what I'm rolling
70,
here.
78 hit points.
Oh,
Seven
my goodness.
eight-sided dice, not 78. Right.
Yeah. 7 d8s.
Mm-hmm.
I have to... I can't do this all. Hold on. It'll take me a second. Sorry.
No problem.
I gotta roll these.
This is as but the cat's rooting for you though. In the meantime, while she's figuring that out, I will say, Valentine,
yes.
you were on deck. We do need to resolve this because whether or not they're asleep will directly affect what happens.
Yeah,
next.
I'm not sure what I'll do on knowing if they're asleep or not.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, should I wait or?
Yes. You can just give us a second here while we figure
happy
this
to wait.
out. Mm-hmm.
40.
40 hit points worth. That is not enough for Desmond. Is that enough for Tatiana?
The direwolf or Tatiana?
The direwolf.
Direwolf has 37.
You see,
Oh, no.
as she is biting into his leg, Tatiana immediately, and off of Desmond's back, you see a little dragon onto the ground as well. But Desmond appears to be unfazed.
That's not what you meant to do, is it?
That is the perfect place to freeze.
No, I meant to.
Valentine.
Am I frozen?
Yeah, just for a second you did. But
Sorry.
It was Valentine, you witnessed this. Nahara says, I hope this works. And then it promptly doesn't. What would you like to do, Valentine?
So I was standing behind wherever Tatiana was before she leapt in unison.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to get around to try and get into Desmond's eyesights. And I'm going to cast Hypnotic Pattern. So I just kind of pull my hands apart and I start this kind of like swirling of red colors that slowly starts to look more like Nika's hair. And just kind of like waving around in it.
What is the save he needs to beat?
The save is, let me double check. It's going to be of a 14 and it is a...
Probably charisma, but we'll see.
Yeah, I think it's charisma. No, it's wisdom, actually.
Oh, wisdom. Wisdom.
Here's hoping. Wolf's not very wise.
Wisdom saving throw?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Need to beat a 14.
11.
Oh, he is charmed.
I just sent you a relevant message there.
Interesting.
So he is charmed for up to 1 minute, and I'll just stand in front of him and go, Desmond, I understand that you do not want to hurt anyone. I understand that this is not in your control at this moment. We're your friends. We are here. What can we do? And I'm just swirling with kind of like as if Nika's hair is like flipping backwards, but you can't quite see her face. And just kind of try to like guide it down to get him to kind of lay down in wolf form.
Desmond, if just to make sure that I understand correctly, you intend to do what I sent you could do?
Yes.
Valentine, you see he looks at you for a moment, and his pupils start to widen a little bit, and for a moment you see Desmond's eyes looking at you out of this monstrous wolf skull, and immediately his pupils shrink to pinholes and bloodshot goes through his eyes as he snaps out of it.
You trying?
Perfect. That brings us to I believe Uriah.
Well, considering what just happened, I'm not sure if this will work, but I've got to keep Desmond from savaging Tatiana while she's unconscious. Question. Tatiana is in full wolf form, a dire wolf, but Desmond is in a hybrid humanoid wolf form. Is that correct?
In fact, you give me a either religion or history check, Brother Uriah, whichever's higher. You in particular might know exactly what this is.
Religion, let's make it religion. 16 total.
Hold on one second. I apologize. A number of private messages are flying back and forth, and I kind of love it. DJ, the thing you sent me was, did you send that a moment ago before that?
I said that before
Okay.
before everything happened. You're good.
Perfect. Great. Perfect. 16. Again, you've seen this happen to Desmond before, but this is much bigger looking and much more fearsome looking. This is a Lugaroo,
Oh, no.
a stronger version of a lycanthrope.
Oh, no, and if I am recalling correctly, I've read in some tomes that such beasts of such power are capable of throwing off the effects of spells entirely.
At least to a limited degree, yes.
Well, let's hope this works. I cast Hold Person on Desmond.
What is the save?
That is DC 15 Wisdom save. And as he casts it, it says, even if this works, it might not work, if you know what I mean.
Wisdom 15?
I do. Yes.
All right, wisdom roll it is.
Mm-hmm.
Saving throw?
15.
It is a 17.
You, Brother Uriah, you don't even notice that momentary lapse of where you think he just immediately shrugs off what you're attempting to do.
Oh, very well. I will try. Actually, Uriah is going to run forward, and he's going to try to get between Desmond and Tatiana.
I would say you absolutely could do that. You would be able to move in time.
And he's actually not going for any weapon. He has his hands up in the air, and he's trying to look small and unthreatening. In fact, he won't have his hands up in the air because that'll make him look bigger. He will actually drop his hands to his side. He's going to try to, sort of like how dogs sort of show submission. He's essentially going to try to creep up doing that and just saying, Desmond, it's us. We're your friends. I'm sorry that Tatiana got a little boisterous, but she's asleep now, and we're all friends. We're all friends.
Give me persuasion with disadvantage, Brother Uriah.
Okie doke. 23 for the first one. 15 for the second.
Give me insight, Desmond.
Eight.
This is not a charm effect. Your mind is your own. But you are aware of the fact that Uriah is trying to get through to you in a non-threatening way. What you do with that is up to you. But the fact that he's like, hey, wait, we're friends here, is registering in your mind that is what he is trying to do.
And he's not making direct eye contact. He's sort of like looking at the ground. So he does not trying to challenge the alpha in any way, shape, or form.
Finn.
Yes.
Hold on 1 second here.
I really wish I had the Jeopardy music on hand.
A lot's happening. Finn, you have successfully kind of held Madrick down, and he's like, "Let me go. I can be of assistance if it's important to you. I don't have to kill him. I can incapacitate him in some other way."
And I continue to bare my fangs at him and go, "No, he is our friend."
He struggles futilely against you. Finn, give me a perception check.
All right.
I believe you get advantage already.
I do, yes.
1 second here.
Ooh, that is a 16.
You notice two things, Finn. You notice a small army of pixies is beginning to gather around you. They're armed with little tiny bows and little tiny swords. They haven't done anything yet, but you can tell they're definitely marshaling to try and help their man out.
Okay.
You also notice that as Desmond changed, all of his equipment disappeared. Even the sword that you know Nika's essence is in disappeared. He didn't rip out of his clothes. They melted into him. Except that fangtooth necklace.
Oh. Can I'm gonna keep him on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
And I have eye contact with Desmond if I look up, right?
Mm-hmm. You can see him.
Desmond, I know you're in there. I need you to listen to us. What is... You're hungry. What is it you want to eat, Desmond?
The delicious smell.
And right when he says that, he just like cuts his eyes directly at the last spot that he saw. Twinkles.
The little fairy dragon is annoying, but he's not food.
But it smells so delicious.
I know. And I'm doing something foolish. Why don't you take a bite out of me instead? I'll survive. Come on, you know that drow blood is tasty, and I'm a dump here.
It's a dump here, blood. What? Tasted that. Don't twinkle. Come and say hi.
Oh, you know the Twinkle is useless. He'll be one bite. He won't even be tasty. I can't hear you.
Yeah, I think it muted you or is it overly noise gating you? I don't know. Sorry.
Weird. Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Sorry.
It's noise gate on the voice mod.
Mm-hmm.
No, voice mod said no.
It smells so good.
I know. What about the power you could get from a Dhampir, though?
Favor.
Yeah? What?
Smell it right. Understand why I need it. Please.
Give me either perception or survival, Finn.
Oh, boy. Well, it's been nice knowing y'all. I have the same score on either, so I get advantage.
Mm-hmm.
A 19 or... Oh, I'm keeping the other one as a 19.
I mean, when he says smell it, I mean, it does smell wonderful. The food doesn't necessarily matter to your palate, but something in you, maybe it is nah beast day happening here. The beast in him is speaking to the beast in you. But actually, that thing probably does taste fantastic.
And Fen just looks down for a second and then looks at Uriah. Uriah?
Yes?
On the count of 3, I suggest you move.
All right, but are you going to be all right, Finn?
I'll be fine.
Desmond's not himself.
I know. And I just show how long my fangs have gotten in my claws.
All right, if you... Look, I'll try to restrain him again. There's a spell I can use to perhaps calm his emotions. There's a number of things I can try, but the problem is that he's a Lukuru. He'll be able to, several times, throw off the effects of a spell that might otherwise incapacitate him.
Then don't waste spells. He and I can go hunting.
Right, if you're sure. Uriah will back up. He's basically backing up towards Tatiana, so he's still staying in between Desmond and Tatiana's sleeping form.
Mm-hmm.
I look at Desmond. Then let's go hunting.
Not more of those.
And I look over to where Twilight is.
Oh yeah, Twinkle's laying on the ground. Like,
Twinkle.
Yeah, he's sleeping. He like kind of one leg kind of like kicks slightly like he's dreaming, but
So I'm gonna actually go grab Twinkle and take off so Desmond has to chase me. I got dinner.
You take off, you scoop this thing and take off running. However, Desmond, it is your turn. As you see, Finn has grabbed your quarry and is running with it.
Desmond is going to leap to grab that specific one because he doesn't know whether or not they're going to find more. And he is
itching.
Taste it.
Remember, I'm in my Dreadform, so I do have my wings out.
Yeah, what's your movement?
With Dreadform, I think it's 40 or 60 with the wings.
Nahara, do you happen to have it handy? Dreadform movement speed?
If it is the same, I think it is the same speed.
Your speed's unchanged.
No,
It's
you
just
are
the
correct.
temporary hit points.
Perfect.
Speed's unchanged.
Finn, you begin.
Although if you attack him, he's got to make a wisdom save.
Oh, he's got to make a wisdom save before he can raise
Yeah, I forgot.
What's the wisdom save?
I forgot to do that on my turn.
No problem. What's the wisdom save? Well, he didn't attack you, so it worked out. Wait, he's got to make a wisdom save.
No, when you attack somebody. So if Tanya attacked him.
Right.
Oh, I didn't attack him. I just grabbed the thing.
Right. Yeah.
Desmond, you easily clear the distance. As Finn is running at top speed, you right onto her. Give me athletics, opposed athletics here to see if you can keep this little dragon away from him.
Well, it's been nice knowing y'all. Ooh, nat 20 though, +3.
Out of 14.
As he is clawing and reaching at you, you are able to just keep maneuvering this small body just out of his reach. As like Twinkle's head is just lolling around as he's sleeping here, and you see he's like, ah! As he wakes up and just holds on to you, Finn, as he has been shook awake out of his sleep here. Desmond, he looks up at you and he just says, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, little guru, and blows a purple pink mist in your face. Give me a wisdom save.
$15.
You feel for just a moment the slightest bit of drowsiness, but immediately snap out of it, Desmond. And he's like, I promise I actually taste terrible. I'm all skin and I'm all scale and bones. Look, you know, it's I could take you to a bigger one. I could take you to a bigger one like me. But he's like much bigger, much more fearsome, a better snack. Could someone wake Tatiana, please? Yes, I could take you there.
Why go there while we're here?
Nahara, since I'd accidentally skipped you over last time, you see this exchange taking place here.
I'm planning on my next go to, if I can, go and shake Tatiana awake.
You can do so easily. Sleep is
Can I just swoop down and
Yep.
nudge?
Yep. Yep. How exactly do you
Tatiana, wake up!
Yeah.
You see Nahara just do like a swoop flyby. And once she like is right over her, we'll nudge her awake. Tatiana, wake up! Tatiana, wake up!
Nahara. Oh, Desmond must be stopped. Where? How? Point of clarification. If I was put to sleep, does that interrupt my wild shape?
I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to.
I won't. No, it's all right.
I'm still a direwolf then. Does it knock me out of rage?
To maintain your rage, you either need to have attacked or been attacked that round, and you got put to sleep afterwards, and you're up now. So no, you would still be able to because you were fighting when it was your turn. So you wake up angry. Yeah.
That's my secret, Cap.
However, I will say just the act of waking her doesn't have to take your whole action. So Nahara, is there anything else you'd like to do?
What do I see immediately? Because things were cutting out, and I apologize. What do I see happening at this exact moment?
You see the pixies are helping Madrick up off the ground as he's like dusting himself off and readying his staff to do something. You see Finn running for the forest with Desmond basically right on top of her, and Twinkle begging for his life, offering to take him to find something much bigger and tastier to eat. You see Valentine is basically right next to you, about to do something, and now Tatiana has awakened as well. I'd say they're about.
I am going to
Finn, what's your normal movement, Finn?
35.
They're 35 feet away because she booked it and he was right over there. Yep.
So is Desmond chasing Fen at the moment?
I mean, he's kind of already caught her, really. Like, yeah, she ran and he's.
I'm going to cast Hold Person on Desmond.
Oh,
and hopefully that works.
What's the save?
It's a 14 Wisdom save.
Have at it, Desmond. Wisdom 14.
That would be a 19.
Dang it.
Again,
none of my things are working.
Desmond, you feel the magic begin to coalesce around you, but you shake it off effortlessly.
He just shakes his head and just
Try.
His eyes immediately dart back to Twinkle.
Valentine. Actually,
a question.
Yeah.
Because I hit him with a spell and I have Form of Dread, I think he needs to make another Wisdom save.
Is that how he does?
Now to be frightened. Otherwise, if he fails, he's frightened.
All right. No. What does he need to beat?
14.
All right. Another Wisdom 14.
15.
Again. The rage, 15, he beat it. The rage is all encompassing, Desmond. However, Tatiana, it is your turn and you are awake.
Rage is all encompassing. As I
Rage is a hell of a drug.
Jump to my feet and start pounding the ground after Desmond and Finn. And I wonder, it would take an action unless Finn gave it willingly to grab Twinkle, even if I use my action to dash, huh?
You can get there. You're fast enough in the direwolf form to just get there. And
what's my direwolf speed?
50 feet. I checked. So you can get there easily. Yes, you could use your action to grab Twinkle because he's essentially not going to resist the grapple. Is basically it. But you'll have him, but you'll still be right there. Yeah.
Okay. I will take off in direwolf form, run past Desmond, and try and grab Twinkle while saying something to Fen, up to Fen, whether you fight me on it, but I'm just gonna say, I am faster.
Can I understand Tatiana while she's a direwolf?
Nope.
All I know is a direwolf is running up on me.
Everybody.
Go ahead.
However, it is Twinkle that is the target of the grapple, and he does not fight it. So if you try and grab him like a football, you basically can't snag him.
Actually, I think it's like a sideways lurch and just swoop kind of under him, and he knows what to do.
So wait, even though I'm holding Twinkle, Tatiana can just come through if I'm holding on to him?
I mean, you can attempt to oppose the grapple if you'd like, if you want to try and hold on to him. He's not going to try and fight being taken.
Let's see what Tatiana does.
Brother Uriah, I believe you're about to say something.
Oh, I was just going to ask. Now, we know that Tatiana cannot actually speak in wolf form, but could she Scooby-Doo it? Could she go, Raster, or something like that? No?
No, it's like talking to your dog, basically. Like, we all know when the dog's trying to communicate. Yeah.
There are dogs
can understand her.
There are dogs that can do like the
It's true. Desmond and Tatiana absolutely can communicate with each other
like a husky
right now. Yeah, like a husky. Tatiana's a dire husky.
All right.
Tatiana athletics with advantage if Finn is going to oppose versus Finn's athletics.
Oh no, I looked at my athletics. No, thank you.
Oh, you're not gonna. Well, you might have every intention of opposing when you got him. However,
I looked at my athletics versus Tatiana. Ain't happening.
However, Desmond,
if as an air genasi I have proficiency in athletics, can I add that to the direwolf?
You can, but she's actually not going to fight you. However, Desmond, this will provoke an attack of opportunity if she tries to run past you and leave. If you intend to lash out at her or not.
Desmond doesn't want to fight them. Desmond is not in any way, shape, or form worried about them at all, aside from the fact that they're stopping him from tasting this apple pie, like the most amazing smell he's ever smelled. So he doesn't really care about them at all. He's just like, yeah, whatever. But that snack though.
Perfect. She grabs him and begins bounding away. Valentine, you witness this happening.
I'd like to try and use my telepathic link to see if I can communicate with Tatiana.
That absolutely works. Her mind is unchanged.
Okay.
She just doesn't have people vocal cords.
Tatiana, what are you doing?
Must save my new friend Twinkle.
You're telling me all of this is about the dragon? Tatiana, this is ridiculous.
If I make Desmond fight me, no innocents will die.
You can't die over a dragon creature you just met. We will make sure that it's fine. It can go invisible. It can get away. Please don't die over this. It's not worth it.
Valentine, you may have magics, but Tatiana now has magics too. Whatever happens to this direwolf will not hurt me.
Okay, but if Desmond hurts you, he will not forgive himself when he returns to himself.
He cannot. I am too powerful, too strong in this form. And I'm so angry!
Okay, I'm going to try to... God. I'm going to try and... Can I detect thoughts on Desmond?
Yeah, what's the save?
That will be a...
correct me if I'm wrong, but
wisdom save.
I believe with the tech thoughts, you get the surface no matter what. And if he fails the save, you can go deeper than that, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So yeah, I initially learned the surface thoughts. It is a wisdom save of 14. I'm just going to try and... I'm playing strategy back here. I can't possibly get in this fight.
Wisdom 14, Desmond.
It's an 18.
What is the very, very top thing going through Desmond's mind?
I'm trying to eat that.
Yeah, well, that was obvious.
That's it. That's literally Desmond's mind right now. It's like, I'm gonna eat it.
Helpful at all.
I know, right?
Well, how far am I from where they have kind of like tumbled and brawled off to at this point?
Desmond's about 35 feet away. Tatiana's about 50 feet away because she passed.
I'm just going to try and keep up at a relative distance, at least with Tatiana. I'll use my movement just to stay close enough to stay in kind of communication and mediation.
Perfect. All right, so you're scrambling along after. Hold on a second here. Madrick points at you, Desmond. Hold on a second. Points his staff at you, Desmond, and says, "Halt, beast!" Give me an int save, Desmond.
Oh, no. $19.
Hold on. Let me check something here. You feel your flesh begin to harden. And you see bits of rock begin forming along your hand and arms. But again, you shake it off like it's nothing. And he says, "Please, just allow me to blow a hole in it. That's what I'm better at. Or banish it to a different dimension."
Banishment. Yes, that would work. It would
No!
be temporary. It would be temporary. Oh, wait, we're not on our own plane, so I'm not quite sure how it would work. Maybe don't.
Ha! Brother Uriah, it is, however, your turn now.
Well, Desmond sure likes to make saving throws, so let's try something that is more of a hit thing. What is Desmond's armor class?
14.
16.
Ooh, well, wait a minute. Is that the one that I'm working with right now?
16.
Okay, I'm going to say, like, I had the feeling it was different.
Well, a 26 with this ray of enfeeblement will definitely hit then. So, Uriah says, "Ezra, help me. My friend is not himself. Calm him, restrain him." And this bolt of black, misty energy strikes out at Desmond. So, basically, I assume all of his Lugaru attacks are strength-based, right? They're all physical attacks?
Yes.
Desmond will now be doing half damage with all of his attacks.
Desmond, you see this beam leap forward and hit you in the chest, and you feel the strength begin to go out of your limbs as Brother Uriah is standing there praying, holding his hands up towards you.
I just want a snack. I don't want to fight. I don't want anything. I want to eat. That's all.
Desmond, let's try to find you a snack that can't carry on a conversation. This dragon I don't know this dragon at all, but it seems very charming, and more importantly, it is sentient. So please, I am your friend. Please, we'll get you something to eat. I'm sure everything here tastes wonderful. I'm sure the deer here tastes like chocolate mousse. Please.
Uriah, I wish that I could give you my sense of smell. Nothing nearby smells as delicious as that. You find me that, and I'll eat it instead.
He may...
Well then, that is mine.
Desmond, he may well be delicious, but he is also an intelligent being, and he is not an enemy. I know that you would not wish to harm the innocent or the helpless, and before you he is both of those things. I know the man who was my friend, and he would not harm those who cannot help themselves, who cannot defend themselves. Please.
I don't know. I do like a big meal. That would be a very quick snack, but smell of it brings shivers down my spine. I want to eat it so bad. Find me something, please.
We will find you something. We'll find you something large and something that will be a challenge. And I'm sure it will also taste very good. Does anyone know where to find something like that?
Finn,
You there, sir. You.
you see this exchange. You see Brother Uriah appears to at least partially getting through to Desmond as Tatiana is continuing to run with this thing. What would you like to do? Finn.
Oh, I thought Brother Uriah was still talking. Fen is Fen wants to help Desmond, and since he wouldn't take the bait of biting her, and Tatiana's run off with what he wants to eat, he's just gonna like try to placate him again.
What are you gonna say to him?
Desmond, Tatiana's taking your snack. I know you're mad. But the offer's still on the table. Do you want to chase me and get this out of your system? Maybe we'll find other prey on the way there. Come on, don't you want to chase me? I've got wings. I'll make it hard for you.
Tell you what. You have a taste for things similar to mine.
True.
I want no parts of eating or tasting my friends. That thing is new, and it smells fantastic. I tire of this. I want to run. I want to experience the forest, and I want to eat something.
Then hunt
Not
with
be
me.
this much work for that small of a snack. I'll take you up
Yeah.
on your challenge to hunt something. Only
And,
if we go right now.
Let's go. And I shift a little bit. I was in my dread form, but Fen does have a beast form as well. She's not a wolf, but she looks kind of like a half vampire, half dragon. But she can keep up with Desmond in this form. And she takes off like a shot, so he'll chase.
Finn, when you shift, when you let the beast out, when you embrace that, you realize for the first time truly what Desmond's been talking about. The woods here, the grass, the air, the sky, the fear coming from Brother Uriah, the sweet smell of this little dragon, all of it just washes through you. And for the first time in longer than you can remember, you feel well and truly alive. This whole place is open to you.
And I look back to see if Desmond is following.
Oh, immediately.
And as we're running, I just relay that to him. I get it. I get exactly what you meant.
I'm glad you understand. Something delicious is in these forests. It's too beautiful for there not to be. And I need to eat.
And let's get to it.
As the two of them go pounding off into the forest, Tatiana, as you're running, a moment later, Twinkle just kind of like taps you on the muzzle and it's like, wait. I think they're leaving. Okay. Oh.
Tatiana skids to a stop slowly as she glances over her beastly shoulder and sees this is true, and then kind of like the dirt just sort of kicks up like it's a rug that has bundled. She skids to a stop.
He just reaches out and puts his hands on the side of your head, and he says, "You saved me. You didn't let them eat me. You didn't eat me." And he just sort of puts his forehead against yours and says, "I will be your friend forever."
I drop out of wild shape, and Tatiana just sits like that. A friend I will always be loyal to.
In here, having this wonderful moment in the woods as two of your companions go pounding off into the night to an unknown end is a good place for us to take a little break. We'll be back in 8.5 minutes.
Hi, everybody. I'm Chris Perkins. I am one of the principal game architects for Dungeons & Dragons here at Wizards of the Coast. And I want to talk a little bit about our new adventure, The Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Our first 5th edition adventure set primarily on the plane of the Feywild. In the adventure, the players get to visit some absolutely wondrous locations and get into all sorts of wacky hijinks. So what is the Feywild, you ask? It's like a reflection of the world, similar in a way to the Shadowfell is a gloomy reflection of the real world. The Feywild is a more wondrous, brighter reflection. But like fairy tales, the Feywild comes in all sorts of flavors and tones. Sometimes it can be a dark place. Sometimes it can be a very light and whimsical place. What The Wild Beyond the Witchlight does is it kind of shows an archetypal Feywild domain. We don't visit the Feywild in its entirety, of course, because it's vast, but by focusing on this new domain that we've created, this place called Prismere, we can give you and your players a real taste of what the Feywild can be like, and also give you pointers on how to distinguish a Feywild-themed adventure from, say, an adventure that takes place in the natural world. Now, in the Feywild, there are the creatures you expect to encounter, Fey beings like satyrs and pixies and sprites. And then there are intruders that make their way into the domain, or creatures that have been lost there or found their way there because they crossed over from the natural world into the Feywild. And so there's a great deal of range when it comes to the types of encounters that you can run there. But with The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, we really wanted to show you some key aspects of the Feywild. One of the weird things about the Feywild is it's very easy to get lost. Time and space sort of bend there in weird ways. A lot more time can pass than you think, and sometimes there is no road to where you need to go, or the road turns back on itself if you don't know the trick to getting to the end of it. One of the things I'm most proud of is that a clever party can get through this adventure without ever having to resort to combat if they don't want to. That's the first time we've tried something like this in a 5th edition adventure, and I look forward to hearing how that goes. And so in this adventure, we show you how some of the rules of the Feywild work, like the rule of reciprocity and how Fey like to be repaid for the kindnesses that they offer, or the rule of ownership. What do you own and what can you give up? And what happens when you take something that doesn't belong to you? There can be serious consequences for stuff like that in the Feywild.
Hi, my name is Ari Levich. I'm a game designer on Dungeons & Dragons, and for The Wild Beyond the Witchlight, I had the pleasure of getting to work on parts of Prismere. So, Prismere is a domain of delight, And domains of delight in the Feywild are these sequestered realms that are ruled by a powerful archfey. These are powerful beings that are native to the Feywild. But something has happened in Prismeer, in the adventure Wild Beyond the Witchlight, in that the archfey, Zabilna, is kind of missing in action. And in her absence, the domain of delight has fractured into these splinter realms. And the splinter realms are hither, thither, and yon. And each one has its own distinct feel based on what's going on there. And so one realm hither is this fetid, dank swamp. Thither is this ancient forest filled, with whimsical trees and all sorts of woodland creatures. And then yon is this dramatic landscape of mountains and brooding clouds and storms. And so there's this kind of patchwork feel to Prismeer based on what has happened, that in its fractured state, each realm has taken on its own kind of miniature domain vibe. The carnival itself serves as a Fey crossing that could take people from the material plane into the Feywild, specifically into the domain of Prismeer. The Feywild is actually this plane of absolute emotion. Imagine emotion like in Technicolor. Everything is amped up, and it's filled with capricious and mischievous and charming denizens. And it's a place to get into adventures that are a little bit more whimsical in nature, but there's a playful wickedness to the Feywild that doesn't exist in other parts of the Dungeons & Dragons multiverse.
Hi, my name is Kate Irwin, and I'm a senior art director on D&D. I was the art director for Wild Beyond the Witchlight. Inspiration for this book was kind of all over the place. It was everything from Willy Wonka and James and the Giant Peach, that magical adventure sort of feeling, to kind of darker things. All of the maps in the book were done by Will Doyle and Stacey Allen. Will and Stacey worked with Chris early on in the process, so the maps really were a big part of how the adventure flows, and the details that you see in the map inform the adventure, and the adventure informs the maps. It was a very symbiotic process. And then my great luck is that they had wonderful sketches to work from and finalize them into the beautiful maps that you see in the book. We worked on the dice set prior to the book, so I was able to kind of dip my feet into the commissioning of this wonderful place before I really had to go in the deep end. So we did a subset of characters, games, showing some of the different sorts of things that you'll experience when you go to the carnival. And those pieces were in the dice set. So there's a little bit of information about what it's like there. One of my favorite pieces from the Feywild section of the book is actually a chapter opener done by an artist that I've worked with a million times, Kieran Yanner. I asked him to illustrate bunch of adventurers hanging off of a swamp gas balloon. And the sketch came in and my heart stopped. It made me so happy to see this sketch. The composition, again, he just captured the characters so beautifully, but this time in a really active kind of scene. So that was like one of the happiest accidents in this entire book. I just love that piece. My main goal with any project is to put together a book that I'm proud of, pleasing the lead and pleasing the fans. Those are my main goals with any project.
I do hope, on behalf of our team, that you love The Wild Beyond the Witchlight and its satellite products as much as we do. I want to thank everyone who worked on it. A lot of people poured their hearts and souls into this product, their love of the Feywild shining through. And I just want to say thank you all for all that you did.
As Desmond and Finn go stomping off into the night, and Tatiana and Twinkle have this moment. Nahara, you and Uriah find yourself standing alone there with an abrupt moment of calm after a few seconds of extreme intensity.
All right, what's happened to you? Why you just weren't present before?
I think
I don't
there's
think
a
he's
chance. I was
present
about to say,
now.
I think his video froze at the exact moment that I was like, "You two have a moment." Oh, we lost him. Oh, he's back. Let's see.
Oh.
He's back.
Oh, and everything moved around. Yep. You know what?
It's okay. I
know
can
what?
talk you through this.
No, you can't. Hold on, everybody. We're gonna take a quick little.
You can come back to us.
We'll come back in just.
Hi, everybody.
Try that again now that the tech gods have been appeased. As Desmond and Tatiana go running off into the woods, and Tatiana and Twinkle share this sweet moment sitting on the ground in the trees, Nahara, you and Uriah find yourself with a moment to yourselves.
Oh, that was a bit nerve-wracking.
I'll say, what happened to you?
What happened to me? I'm not sure I understand. The last thing I remember is going through the portal, and then I seemed lost in memory.
You were just in a daze. Yes. No one could speak to you. You wouldn't. You were just here, but unresponsive, and it just looked lost, like when sometimes I drift off in the night, or sometimes when we see Valentine drift off in her mind.
Was I leaking something from my face?
Do you not remember anything?
No. As I say, I was lost
in
memories.
Although your eyes look different.
My eyes? What do you mean?
What memories?
Spilner.
Do you not see? Can I just, I want a minor illusion, like what his face looks like to me right now.
She shows you.
This is what it looks like.
Oh. Uriah pulls a small polished silver mirror from one of his pouches.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm not sure. I don't know why this has happened. I feel myself though. I don't feel as though any control is being exerted over me, but my eyes, they look like his.
They do look like his. Why do you suppose that is?
I don't know, but you look rather different as well.
Yes, and I, like you, I feel the same.
Yes. You look beautiful. I mean, you always look beautiful. You look beautiful in a different way, I suppose.
Thank you. I'm not sure what's happened, but I still feel the same way. I'm glad you're all right.
Thank you.
That's what I
Do you think it's
thought.
this place?
Yes. I don't know why.
I wonder.
I had a very disturbing Taroka deck pull. And as beautiful as this place is, just be wary.
Yes, I suppose that's wise. Though, I should point out that your Taroka deck readings usually are rather eerie and, off-puttingly insightful.
Yes. I wish they were a little more clear and forward with what they're trying to tell me, but I suppose I'm still learning.
Yes.
But there's something about this place, it's as beautiful as it is. Something's not right. And I just keep your eyes keep your eyes out on situation. Sorry, that was a little awkward. I didn't mean to see with your eyes, but they're still very lovely.
It's all right. It's all right. Well, we've seen how it affects Desmond. You say you don't feel any different.
No. There's a very welcoming feeling being here, actually. Kind of like those dolls.
Yes. Yes, I know what you mean. The sense of being constantly watched, constant oppression that I suppose I've grown used to. It's not present here, is it? It would be easy to be lulled into a false sense of security, but I'm sure this place has its dangers as well.
The moment you say this place has its dangers, from a nearby tree, you hear crows caw 3 times very loudly. Caw! 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 And they lift off, and you both see a very, very small crow, like a little hatchling that probably just barely old enough to leave the nest, flies by. And then you see an impossibly old crow, worn, its feathers matted and fluffed, and seems like it is flying with great labor. And then you see a regular, beautiful, shining crow, like at the peak of its life. And the 3 of them circle overhead 3 times, and then scatter and go in 3 different directions.
Would it happen to be the same number of directions I felt when I first stepped into this
Yes.
land?
You get the exact same feeling of being pulled in 3 very different directions, Nahara. The exact same thing. Yes.
This was one of the things. We got here and I felt a strange pull in different directions, and that's the directions that they're flying in. What does it mean?
I'm not sure. But perhaps we should check in with the others. This fellow, he's a warlock, is he?
Referring to the gentleman that was...
The gentleman who kept trying to cast spells and...
Sorry, everything is frozen for me right now.
Yep, Madrik Rosloff, yes. You see he has picked himself up off the ground, and you notice once the danger seems to have passed, his manner seems to have lightened up a little bit, and you see the pixies are attempting to act like nothing happened. They're sort of picking up some dishes and things, even though Desmond knocked shingles off the roof and one of the pumpkins was destroyed. They're trying to essentially salvage the remainder of a good night.
Did you have a vision of Zybilna, Nahara?
I did. I actually had a memory. She came to me, and I was a child, and I was looking for a lost pet of mine, and she returned it to me. But then she told me that my life would be filled with hardships, and everyone else has some sort of memory with her. What was yours?
Yes, I didn't recall it until just now, but yes, I do recall meeting her as a child. She wanted me to come to a carnival of some kind. I thought nothing of it then. I didn't even remember it happening until just now. But
Twinkle mentioned a carnival.
It seemed like she was trying to lure me away from my home.
I don't know why all of our lives are somehow tied to her. Twinkle did mention a carnival, though. Do you think it's the same one?
There's another possibility. What if these are false memories that have been implanted in our mind, so that we recall meeting her as children? Perhaps it's some ruse to make us trust her more. I'm not sure.
It could be. I don't want to believe it. I was so caught up in thinking that or hoping that was actually a memory. But you're right. Don't want it to be.
It's just conjecture on my part. I'm not as certain what's going on any more than you are.
Valentine.
But we did say that we should.
Yes, please.
So you did say that we should keep our eyes open, and that we should, as much as I want to believe it, at least keep in mind that maybe it's not real until we're certain.
True. If the Fae are known for one thing, it is deceiving mortals through glamour, illusion, deception. We must keep our wits about us.
Valentine, you also see these 3 conspicuous crows with their loud cawing circle overhead and depart in 3 different directions. And you hear Tregram's voice. Again, he sounds smaller and more distant in this place. Well, that doesn't seem ominous.
You don't know anything about it?
No, I would say that I am as much of a stranger here as you are, but dare I say I am significantly stranger here.
I'd say that you usually are.
That would be hurtful were it not so accurate. Could I like to think that we're friends, right? In a sort of mortally bound together for all time, somewhat unwillingly sort of way.
You do.
But I mean, you know that I'm always working to your benefit, to your greater good.
Yes, Tregram. What is it?
A couple days back, when I was walking around as you, nowhere near as gracefully as you two, of course, but when I had to pilot your body from the carnival to Mordant, right? You remember that? Yeah, you may not remember it. You were like sleeping or something, but you know, right?
Yes.
I couldn't hear you. I couldn't feel you. That's not... Normal's the wrong word for us. Usual.
Yes, I was not here. I'm not sure how, but my mind was taken elsewhere.
I ask both as a friend and, of course, your most stalwart guardian, because I cannot protect you against threats that I don't comprehend. Where were you?
Barovia.
Von Zarovich.
Mm-hmm.
You were able to speak with him without me? That is a troubling premise.
Yes, I was. I was invited to speak with him in some capacity, but it was not my choice. But we spoke of his assistance to getting Nika back.
Well, surely you must have negotiated for the good of Blutsburg, correct? To the glory of the Godbrain, all hell.
Of course.
Of course. Well, because we're friends, I will not inquire any further into this matter, but if you just wish to talk about it, I am, of course, ever at your disposal.
Thank you, Tregram. I assured that von Zarovich is of no active threat to us, and that we would have his cooperation in the mission of returning Nika, and potentially of my transition of power.
Oh, now it is good to have options. Could I perhaps trouble you with one more question? I realize I was going to say moon is hanging low in the sky, but after recent events, it can't drop fast enough. But, one more thing. I don't understand your connection to and affection for this Nika. You always seem so shrewd and practical, magnificently so. Tatiana is a point of vulnerability, but you're not usually given to sentiment, and yet you risk so much for this Nika. I mean, she seems fine enough as elves and Eladrin go, I suppose, and those who go on two legs. Why?
There's nothing I've done for Nika that I would not do for Tatiana, first of all. Without question. And though I do not care for many, I care much for the ones that I do. I was given a second chance, undeservingly. And though I can't spend the time that I have been given regretting it, I am not able to rest or relax until Nika is given at least the same chance I have been.
Well, I hope to whatever end she is restored, it happens forthright. This place doesn't agree with me. It's so tall and green and pleasant.
Tatiana seems to enjoy it very much, so I will not rush her.
Were you aware that she could become a wolf?
It was seeming that way, but it's the first time I've seen it happen as well.
Well, having experienced life on two legs, it does seem 4 is more structurally stable. Perhaps she's smarter than I've given her credit.
She has a big battle ahead of her. Every new strength that she gains will protect her as much as we will. Right?
Oh, yes, of course. Absolutely, yes. Protect Tatiana, yes.
You understand that as much as I would do for Nika, I would do for Tatiana. And I remind you at this, that if Tatiana is gone, you will lose me.
Yes, I know. You recall I did extend our protection out to her as well, and it was lost somehow. I'm still not quite unraveled that one, but yes, I will endeavor to make sure that she also returns home safely, just like you.
Work faster.
Always. Glory of the Godbrain.
Glory.
And with that, the night passes. Each of you finding alternatively sleep or glorious violence in a successful hunt, bringing down a large, multi-antlered beast, easily twice the size even of you, Desmond, until dawn finds Finn and Desmond wandering back onto Madrick's farm, clothes ripped, scratched, covered in blood, most of which that isn't your own.
That was fun. Sorry, that was fun.
It was, but I really like these clothes. Oh, and I'm not used to that shift.
That was quite impressive. How long have you had that capability?
Oh, for a little bit. I just haven't had a chance to use it. And since every time I try to sate myself with other means, I'm thwarted.
Fair. I know a little bit about how that goes. I do feel bad about the dragon, though. I didn't want to eat the little dude, but you saw that moon. I'm used to having control over things. That was different.
That was very different. I didn't know you could throw spells like that.
Neither did I. Not to that level.
Come here. I wipe a little smudge of ichor off of his face.
Sorry. Appreciate that.
I mean, am I okay? I mean, we're both kind of.
You're good. And he just like knocks off a little patch of fur that belonged to something else off her shoulder.
I
do have to apologize to Twinkle though. Like that was not how I planned the evening going.
Well, I mean, Tatiana saved him, although I wouldn't have been opposed to eating him. He was kind of annoying.
But he did smell delicious. I do remember that. I remember the night. It just. Oof.
Oh no!
I remember the beginning being like a problem. I was good, and then I wasn't. And then I was just in the background, kind of riding the ride. It was there. It was happening, and I just was a part of it.
It was a little terrifying. It was, but when I shifted, I got it entirely.
As you all are walking back into camp, you see your various companions. You see Tatiana leaning up against a tree, cuddling Twinkle like a newborn baby who has his neck looped around hers, and all around her are empty pie tins and gnawed bones from whatever meat they brought her before she finally fell asleep. Valentine also is stationed nearby, staring blindly off at nothing, as she often does. And you see Nahara also sitting up, watching over Brother Uriah, as her eyes also are open, looking at nothing in particular.
You think they're gonna freak out?
Yeah. I'm used to it, sadly.
I'm not, but then again, this whole place, I can tell it doesn't want me here, and it's unsettling.
Whether or not they want you here, whether or not this place wants you here, doesn't matter. You're here. You're with us. If anybody has anything to say to you, or anything has anything to say to you, they kind of have to go through us, and it is my sincere hope that last night let people know that they probably don't want that particular action.
Oh, I know, and, well, that was the first time I shifted in front of everyone.
It wasn't
still. Well, thank you. That means a lot coming from you.
Anybody understands shifting in front of people. I've got a little bit of experience in the area, so I understand the looks of people who aren't used to seeing that. Luckily, it was mostly only family, people in the castle that ever saw that, and it's weird that everybody knew, but I think you're good.
I just don't want anything weird to come of it, and I probably owe Uriah an apology. Poor man probably thought I was going to attack him.
I feel like of all people, Brother Uriah, I get the feeling would never see you in a fashion of raising hand to him.
When I'm myself, that's true.
As you all continue to walk a little closer, you are greeted with the universally heavenly scent of bacon cooking.
Ooh.
That is the thing that awakens Tatiana.
It absolutely is, Tatiana. And as your eyes open, you see Desmond and Finn standing near you, tattered and covered in dirt, and Twinkle still sleeping in your arms.
Good morning, Desmond.
Morning.
That was fun last night, eh?
Probably not the best word to use, but after we left, it was a blast.
I come for your throat.
Last night was a little hazy, but I don't think that would have worked all that well. I do want to offer an apology to your dragon, though.
Right when
Twinkle,
you say
I
that,
am sorry.
Twinkle is like, and he disappears. Tatiana, you're aware he's in your arms. You can feel him, but he's invisible.
I pretend he's not there still. I don't know where he went, but I think he accepts your apology. I will pass it on. I accept.
Yeah. Twinkle, I know you're there. You explained this trick to us when we got here. You don't have to worry. I do apologize for last night. I don't know if you know how werewolves work, but full moons are the thing. That was not a normal full moon for me, so I deeply apologize for trying to eat you. That was not cool, and it's not how you treat a friend.
Just curious, Desmond. I know we travel between the mists and things are strange. The Feywild is new and different. But do you keep a written document where you write how many days since, like 0 days?
Oh, the last full moon? No, I don't need to. I'm used to, times I've tried to eat a friend. That doesn't happen at home. It's only here, and it was only that moon really, and we just got here. How was I supposed to know when the moon was?
Now you're making excuses. You need to own lycanthropy if you're going to own lycanthropy. You know what I mean?
I've been owning lycanthropy this entire time, and I did just apologize to the friend here that I tried to eat, and I do remember a little bit of last night, even though I rode the beginning. Right? Once we went off in the forest, I had a little bit more control. Yeah, this place is not where we were. I knew where the moon was coming there. Brand new place here.
Okay, well, I went out of my way and did you a favor. And she leans forward from the tree she's leaning against, and it's carved in it. It says, days since moon, with one hash mark.
And Fed is just standing here like, I'm sorry, when did Desmond ever say he wasn't a lycanthrope? I am confusion.
To be fair, I understand, Finn. I did try to eat the dragon. Again, I am so sorry.
I would have eaten it if I'd caught it.
Desmond, I apologize to you as well. That ray of enfeeblement. I did drop it as soon as you ran off to hunt, so you wouldn't be impeded in your attempts to. Did you manage to find a chocolate mousse, by the way?
Desmond, as Brother Uriah is saying this, you notice his eyes.
We can talk about the kill, but like, what's this about?
Oh yeah, I was just informed of that myself last night. I'm not quite sure what's going on with this.
Can you open your eyes wider? That is impressive. I gotta say, I'm used to changing, sir. I'm completely cool with it. It looks great on you. I gotta say, just it's interesting. It's just kind of a new thing.
I'm not sure what's causing it.
And Fed is just kind of staring at him. It's like, you weren't like this when we left?
Not sure. I was wearing my glasses, so I'm not sure when it happened.
As you all lean in, you all hear a small a quartet of pixies with horns. Definitely waking you, Valentine, if you're ever not awake.
This place is so whimsical. It's a very whimsical place, don't you think?
That's not a word I'd use.
I could do without listening to that in the morning.
I like it.
Good
Get you up. Get you at 'em.
Morning. Breakfast is ready and road rations are packed. We don't mean to be rude, but we'd really like it if you all aren't here tonight in case it's another full moon. It is nothing personal. You are just terrifying.
Wait, you can have full moon 2 nights in a row here?
Sometimes.
Usually.
Yeah.
Also,
3,
sounds
5.
extremely personal.
Oh.
Yeah.
5?
What?
Yeah.
Did you say 5?
I mean, on occasion.
Oh.
We should go.
Yeah, we should not be here tonight.
We should
I mean,
that.
On the 35th of Widdershins, every other year, it is a full moon 5 nights in a row. Yeah, yeah. We don't really keep track of that. We sort of like just live in the moment, you know? Also, it's never been an existential threat before, so there's that. Also, oh, Tatiana, you gave us a thank you. Did you ask consent from the tree before carving? Some of them are into that, but most of them are not.
Oh.
Did she talk?
Oh.
Yeah. You should probably consult a druid. They're usually aware of that sort of thing.
But not that kind of druid.
Oh, now this is awkward.
Sorry, I need to speak to the tree. I place my hands on it. I'm so sorry. I did not realize you were sentient. I'm kind of whispering this into the bark. And I thought you would have said something if was the case. Maybe told a bird to tell me.
Tatiana. Give me a nature check with advantage.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Ben is just like, can I have some bacon before we go, though?
Absolutely.
Definitely.
The pixies are parading forward. I mean, they're very small, so it almost ends up being more like tapas. Like each plate is kind of a mouthful of food. but I mean, there's bacon, eggs, sausage. Still a disturbingly high number, or maybe not disturbingly, surprisingly high number of pumpkin dishes. Didn't know it was possible to have, sweet pumpkin sausage and things of that nature.
I love pumpkin spice. I love pumpkin
It's
spice.
true. It's they did rotate out a beverage last week. There was some strange concoction of pumpkin spice in some other sort of stimulant,
That's right.
but it did render a person basic immediately upon consumption, though.
Oh, that explains so much.
That
Evil spell. I rolled a 17. Actually, I rolled 2 18s. It was crazy. It was wild. But I have a -1 in nature.
Tatiana, you get the distinct impression. You swear it says to you, "De nada," which feels like you don't think you offended it.
Huh. Okay.
It's probably one of those trees that's into that sort of thing.
Makes sense.
Oh.
We don't pass judgment in these parts. We like pumpkins. That's not everybody's jam. That's all right.
Wait, you don't pass judgment, but you don't want us to
pumpkin
be here
jam.
tonight? That's
Judgment.
a little.
That's
little bit of
self-preservation.
judgment.
It's,
I'll allow that. That is very much self-preservation.
It is a little
Again, I apologize to all of you. I am very sorry for my outburst last night. It was not a purposeful thing.
You see, Madrick comes out of the house and he's like, no problem, young man. You're by no means the first lycanthrope companion I've had in my time. I'm glad that your friend stopped me from blowing your head off. Thank you, Finn.
I just kind of snarl at him.
Desmond just replies, "I'm glad that you thought that would work."
All in the past. You're a little chattier today, although those are fascinating eyes. Tell me, are
yes,
you a warlock too?
I'm not, sir. I am a priest of Ezra, the Lady of the Mist. Never mind. You are a warlock, I take it, and
Yes.
from what I gather, you count Zybilna as your patron. Yes.
Zybilna has greatly blessed me for many years, as you can see. Yes.
I wonder. I've recently unearthed a memory of meeting Zybilna when I was a child.
Oh? What did she do?
She wanted me to come to a carnival.
Invited you personally, she did.
Yes, she did.
Usually, if she takes an interest in a young person, it's after they found their way to the carnival somehow on their own. But on occasion, she decides who she wants to fairy godmother. You must be a blessed soul indeed.
Yes, that's what she called herself, my fairy godmother.
Yes, I was not so fortunate. I was already a man before I first encountered Zybilna, but she offered me power and glory and riches, and she delivered. Also, all the pumpkins I could ever stand to eat.
Wait, pumpkins. Nahara, do you still have, what are they called? The lantern jacks that my uncle gave us.
When he says that, I'm just kind of I just kind of startle and message him, and I was like, they're not the same pumpkins. They feel very different.
Didn't you give one to each of us? I think somewhere I have.
Not yet.
This might be a good time to distribute them because, I don't think they'd have the same inherent danger they do at home. It is the soil of our lands which corrupts them. Here, they might be completely benign.
too sure about that. I will certainly distribute them because we might need them. But Uriah, they still feel very, very much not of this land.
True. It's, again, only a theory, but my uncle said it was the soil that they are planted in.
Like, I'll take one of the seeds and I'll take Uriah's hand and put one of the seeds in his hand. Doesn't it feel different to you?
Uriah, it when you touch it, you can tell it definitely resonates with the power of the mists. There is that ambient sadness and weight that comes back all too familiar when you touch it.
Feels like home. Perhaps you're right. We'll save these for later then. For when there's no other choice.
Medric looks and he's like, "You all are a curious assemblage. I've traveled across the plains and never encountered a band of adventurers such as you. 2 of you aren't breathing. 2 of you are shapeshifters. 3 of you are shapeshifters, and also, are you breathing? And this unusual lad is a priest of some strange god with wonderful eyes. You know, I think you all might actually have a chance of finding Zybilna. Isn't that great, everyone?" And you hear the pixies are like, "Hooray! They're going to do it!"
We'll certainly endeavor to do so. Yes. Thank you for your hospitality. Madrick, was it?
Yes, Medric Rosloff.
Well, I suppose we should be underway.
You see the pixies come out and they line up where they, true to their word, have packed road rations for each of you. Just basically fresh meat and cheese, a pumpkin pie for each one of you, 2 pumpkin pies for you, Tatiana, and given you fresh water skins and basically decked you out for travel.
Valentine, quick, I have to ask you something. Are you sure we can stay here?
We have to continue. As long as we stay here, Nika stays in the sword. Desmond could turn into a wolf again at midnight and try and eat all of these people within their homes. And we get no closer to understanding what's happened at home.
Okay. I guess I understand all that. I just had to ask, the pumpkin pie alone. Right, you don't eat. My bad.
But I have one in my rations for when you want it.
You always look out for me.
I'm sorry we can't stay at the places that you like.
That's all right. I don't deserve nice things.
Tatiana.
Oh, it's fine. Let's
I
go.
promise that one day all of this will be over.
You get over here. It's not that quiet.
The second she says, like, "I don't deserve nice things," Desmond just comes over and just, like, puts a hand on her shoulder and just, "I've known you for a long time. If anybody deserves the nicest of things, it's someone who looks out for their friends and makes sure that they're never disrespected. You deserve every nice thing."
Desmond! And Tatiana just goes low and grabs you and picks you up really high.
And Twinkle immediately does that same crying double wrap hug that he did with you and Nahara. I'm like, "Hey, you deserve every nice thing."
Twinkle, we will see each other again. This isn't goodbye.
No, you guys are gonna come back and you're gonna complete the mission and Desmond's not gonna eat me and everything's gonna be fine.
And then right then, "I'm not going to eat you. I am so sorry that I attempted to. It's the moon. I had no control over that."
No, I get it. I'm wonderful. No, it's okay.
You are pretty wonderful. And isn't it also wonderful that Tatiana also got to feel the pain of accidentally hurting a friend or possibly hurting a friend? Isn't that right, Tatiana?
No, that's not.
You can take it bites, Desmond, and I punch you in the gut.
Valentine.
And he just catches it and just like, it's funny though.
I flip in the air.
Yeah, right.
As you twist it.
While they have an impromptu sparring match start here in the middle of this floor, which Twinkle immediately shoots towards the nearest tree and vanishes the moment they start tussling. You, Valentine, get the distinct impression that you are being watched. You are a purveyor of silent observations. You immediately clock this.
Does it feel like one person or does it feel like four?
One. You do not feel their presence. You don't feel their presence anywhere of your guardians.
Uh-huh. I'll look around to see if I can spot anybody.
Give me perception.
18.
Sitting on a nearby tree, munching on a peppermint, is that pixie that you saw when you were a little girl. Thimble, they said his name was. He is clearly older. You have no idea how long pixies live. His blonde hair has become more of a platinum, and he's got a silvery beard, but he is sitting there crunching happily.
While they're tussling, I'll just kind of sneak out of there and slowly towards Thimble.
Ah. Didn't you grow up wonderfully?
I don't know about that, but thank you. I was looking for you.
I heard. I flew all night to get here. I was afraid I'd miss you.
It's very kind of you.
Oh, you were kind first. And he just sort of like raises the foot that you untrapped from the underneath the rock.
Looks like you healed well.
Oh, yeah. Healed up and broken these old legs and arms and wings more times than I can count. You know, it's sometimes my courage exceeds my durability. He bites the peppermint again.
I didn't remember our meeting until right before I got here.
Yeah, that's usually how it goes. You know, the kids, the little ones, they find their way here a lot easier. You know, it occurs to them to walk counterclockwise backwards around a ring of toadstools, to sing a little song and skip as you go over a crossroads, to make the right face when you're looking at yourself in the mirror that opens up doors to places like this. And the older you get, tend to lose a little of that.
Did I come to the carnival?
You did. We came together. Had a great time. I don't feel bad that you don't remember it.
I wish that I did.
Well, he sort of like looks side to side and he says, you don't by chance have a way to sort of magically...
I enable telepathic speech. This?
I thought you would. You know why I thought you would? Because you're dressed so wonderfully and delightfully, and everyone else, they got armor and shields and swords, and they're running around, and you were standing there like you knew that you could just do stuff with your mind, you know? Echo.
Okay, so you were saying?
Oh, yeah, the reason why you can't remember the carnival, it probably was taken from you. Something was taken from all of you.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
that's
by
how
who?
That's how it works. See, you gotta have a ticket to get in. And if you don't have a ticket, You gotta pay some other way. It's,
So I paid with my memory.
probably. It could be all sorts of things. Sometimes people lose their ability to tell the truth, or to write their own name, or to sing their favorite song, or the sound of their father's laughter. More often than not, it's the memory of the happy time they had at the carnival, which, if you think about it, is logical. If you don't have a ticket, you don't get to remember, but it's actually kind of cruel. 'Cause it's
All
really
of that is cruel.
Yeah. And the carnival's a great place. A lot of fun. I think you gotta go there, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay. Yeah. Do you know, you were near my family's home.
Mm-hmm.
Did you know them? Did you know my parents? My mother?
The first time Sibilna came to visit your folks, I came with her, and that was when I saw those wonderful orchards. And I came back on occasion, and he flits down from the branch and actually lands on your shoulder right next to your face, and he says, I actually came back, after. I didn't say anything to you. I didn't think you'd remember me, and what could I say? Even if you weren't thrown off by a 6-inch winged man at your window. I hadn't seen you in so long. But, he just kind of puts a hand on your face. You okay?
Mm-hmm. Yes. Why
Here.
was Sibilna visiting my mother?
He leans in a little bit and he says, I think we know you're not okay.
I need to know. Please.
She just took a liking to you. She does that sometimes. There's just kids she picks that are special for some reason. Some of them she makes warlocks. Some of them she just sort of keeps an eye on. Some of them she takes to Prismere. Those are the lucky ones, I think.
Yeah, maybe. Thank you. And thank you for coming back to check on me.
You know, this place can be a little fickle. I don't think it works like the places you've been before. It's a tricky place. But I think you'll be able to make your way through it.
Will you come visit again?
I'll do you one better. I'll take you to the carnival.
I would appreciate that very much. Thank you.
Can I give you a hug?
He looks at her shoulder and contemplates how that'll work. Yes. Sure.
Such as it is. And he does, barely can kind of get his arm sort of around your chin to your neck, kind of. He extends his wings a little. It's like, you were always a great kid.
I'm sure my mother adored you. She was much more whimsical than I am now.
Well, there's still time left, right? What's the deal with your friends? This is a pretty colorful assemblage, and they got some funky auras.
Yeah, they're weird. But they're all here for some reason, and we're all together for some reason. And I'm glad that we are. I think you'll like them as well.
You want some peppermint?
I'm okay, thank you. I don't eat much these days.
You don't have to be shy. I realize it's more for me. I'm not gonna force it. But, you sure? It's going down the hatch.
Thimble, I'm dead.
What? Meanwhile, Brother Uriah, give me a willpower save.
Wisdom save?
Wisdom, yes, sorry. Too many games floating around in my mind.
Only a 9, I'm afraid.
You realize the king is reaching out for you. He's actively trying to reach you, and he can't because something won't let him.
I think he actually turns to Nahara. I think Eslan Rex is attempting to reach me, but he cannot. I'd be safe from him here.
How is that so?
I do not know.
Isn't he just always there?
Perhaps we are beyond his reach. We've left the place where he is imprisoned. His influence cannot reach this far.
Uriah,
That's wonderful.
you get the sensation of rage at a great distance, as if you were watching a volcano from miles away.
He's not very happy about it, though. Tell me.
So he knows.
Well, he knows that he cannot reach me. I don't know if he knows where I am. What about you? Are your powers in any way diminished? They flow from him, after all.
Do I have the sense that anything's changed?
Now that you think about it, when you were attempting to restrain Desmond in the midst of all of that...
Did I lose? Oh.
No, I can hear you. In the midst of all of that chaos, it did seem like it just took a little more effort, like running at altitude. Your powers leapt forth, but with more exertion than they normally do.
It just doesn't seem to come as natural, I suppose.
Yes.
But something about these cards, though, that's different.
How so?
The cards they pulled me. I felt that they were pulling me here into this land when I felt it so strongly.
Nahara,
That's different.
as you touch the cards, you hear a strange sound. It sounds like sand pouring. Just sort of echoes in your ears for a moment.
Nahara, are you all right?
It's like I was saying, while I feel that Aslan may be farther away, there's something about these cards that are calling to me.
But of course, your skill with the cards does not flow from him. And admittedly, your link to him is of an entirely different nature than his to me.
Right.
But
That's true.
Don't you see what this means? This means that I can be sure that I am myself here. Even though maybe this thing that's happened to my eyes perhaps side effect of him trying to reestablish the link? I'm not sure.
Maybe. But it's wonderful that you feel like yourself.
Yes.
I'm happy that you feel more like yourself.
Thank you. And your
What was that?
Your changed appearance. What is the source of that? I wonder.
I don't know. When I found me, back in Falkovnia, I was wearing white.
Yes, you were.
Little different.
Yes.
Maybe that has something to do with it.
And your wings. I believe the other you, the one in Falkovnia, her wings were like yours are now, yes?
I'm sorry, could you repeat that?
Her wings were like yours are currently, yes?
Yes, that's right.
Puzzles.
I
In puzzles.
don't know what it means.
Yeah. We'll find out what it means together. All of us. I mean,
And at this moment, with everything else going on, and very hopefully without anybody noticing, I will take Uriah's hand. Yes.
yes.
I like your eyes, if it makes any difference.
Thank you.
The way they are now or before,
Well, I like the way you look now.
because they're yours.
Thank you. I like the way you looked before, and I suppose I just like you now.
You all see Madrick ushers the pixies forward as they hand you all your bundles. And you notice one of them sitting on Valentine's shoulder, happily finishing off a peppermint. Well, suppose it's time to set off. As I said, the carnival only stays in one place for so long, and you don't want to miss it.
Yes. Thank you for everything, and nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, and you as well, Twinkle. Yes.
You see, Twinkle is sobbing with multicolored tears coming out of his face. He's like, yes, and I didn't know I would make such wonderful friends, even though Desmond tried to eat me.
Well, I'm very glad. I'm very glad that he didn't, and I'm glad that we could help facilitate your not being eaten.
Me too. Okay, wait. And he leans over and loudly blows his nose into one of his wings and is like, I'll clean that later. You all be safe. He stops for a second and he says, oh, something I should tell you. I almost forgot in the midst of all of the hullabaloo. When you go to the carnival, don't sneak in and try not to do anything violent or you'll get kicked out. Because if you make Mr. Witch or Mr. Light angry, you won't be able to get into Prismere.
I can't believe you almost forgot to tell me not to do something violent.
Well, I mean, you haven't been violent to me, around me, until, like, everything got, like, really violent, really fast. But, yeah, I feel like, isn't that obvious? Isn't that just, like, most people don't just go places and start fighting?
Twinkle. And then I just set him down and I flex all my muscles. There's like a muscle on a muscle on a muscle.
Very vascular. Okay, got it. Well, just do me one favor then. Just try to talk first. Oh, and one last thing. Watch out for thieves. They will steal more than your coin purse.
But I can't do violence on them for that?
I mean, like, you know, like if you catch them in the act, then maybe like that seems like a little more defensible. But like violence is like plan C, not plan A.
Okay. I think Tatiana understands.
And here, with a guide to take you to the carnival, and fresh food to enjoy along the way of this beautiful, warm, sunny day that hopefully does not give rise to another full moon, is a good place for us to stop. Because as you walk along lost in thought, one of you receives an unusual visitor. Desmond, as you walk through ankle-deep grass in this mystical place of the Feywild, this place of towering trees, of butterflies the size of your hand, of unchecked wilderness that you are coming to suspect, while completely different from the land of the mists, holds perils of its own. Off in the distance, you hear a wolf howling, and a cold breeze blows across your neck. And before you stands a figure that you don't recognize by face, but immediately by presence.
Who are you?
I did not expect my first sensation upon meeting you like this to be disappointment, but here we are. You know who I am. Surely, Brother Uriah and Fen have been clear about their conversations with me.
Disappointment.
So this is what it looks like now.
It.
You're home.
Doesn't quite look like this. Last I checked, this is
someplace else. Do you like it here? Do you find it soothes the anger, the rage, the resentment, the grief that burns in your chest?
It is soothing, yes, but nothing can soothe that rage.
No, nothing can. Nothing quenches grief. You will find it comes in waves. Imagine yourself the life you knew, the life you wanted, but did not speak, as a ship. When the ship is wrecked, you are drowning with wreckage all around you. Everything floating around you reminds you of the beauty and the magnificence of the ship that was and is no more. And all you can do is float. You find some piece of the wreckage and you hang on for a while. Maybe a memory, a painting, perhaps a physical memento, like a weapon. Maybe it is someone else who is also floating. And for a while, all you can do is float. Yes? Yes, you are floating now. But the rage, the anger, that resentment, it can save you. Surely, Brother Uriah mentioned this, and while we are speaking of the good brother, I am curious to know something. How does it feel to travel knowing that the Lich King hears all your secrets, knows all your plans?
The joyous part is that he doesn't.
That's what he told you.
I feel like I don't know if I want to tell you anything of all this. You reaching out to my friends, speaking with them privately. Yet you wait until after I experience my home in a state that I never imagined it could have been befallen to. The pain, the frustration of seeing my home in such a horrible state. And you wait until I get to somewhere with lush greenery and just the forest that I always imagined home to be. So when you ask of how I feel about the Lich King speaking and knowing all of our things, like, I don't want to tell you anything because I fear you know just as much, if not more. So wouldn't you already know how it feels because you were privy to the similar information as he is?
I rarely ask a question that I do not already know the answer to, but in this case, I confess, I do not know.
Interesting.
I am not Azalin. I don't put spies among you to listen and to pretend I hear nothing. It is not my way. You and I are not so much unalike. We are both warriors. We prefer the straighter battle.
True. Which makes me even more curious as why you waited until now to speak to me.
Why might I do that?
You wanted me to experience pain, fresh.
Not pain. Grief. I understand what you have lost better than you think I do. And it is suitable to my interests to help you get it back.
You mean the wrecked ship? That it would now be impossible to get back?
Think of where you are. Think of all that you have seen. Falconia, other places. Nothing here is impossible for those who truly understand what this place is and what it can do. No. Your ship, restored, whole, beautiful, magnificent, is within your grasp once more. I speak of one you lost and who has disappeared from your view. He who would have been wed. I speak of your brother. You think he is lost to you, but that is a falsehood.
Interesting. And you answered the question I was just about to ask you. Of who do you speak?
Well, already you have recovered something of your ship, I think.
Huh. True.
So, I understand she is not grateful to me for arranging her return. Yes, I know what the Lich King told you, but let us have it understood between us that lies come as easily to his lips as kisses do to others. You have her because of what I did for her. And now I am prepared to restore the rest of your ship. And what I shall ask in return, perhaps that can wait for another meeting.
And here, as quickly as he appears, the manifestation of Strahd von Sarevich dissipates. And that is a good place for us to stop.